What's up, college football fans? In today's countdown, we're going through the top 10 most dominant national championship teams of all time. These are the NCAA football teams that didn't just win a title, they steamrolled the competition. We'll cover their season records, huge margins of victory, tough schedules, star players and coaches, and the lasting impact they left on college football history. Whether you're a diehard fan or new to the sport, get ready for some jaw-dropping stories of gridiron greatness. At number 10, we have the 2020 Alabama Crimson Tide, perfect in a chaotic year. This team navigated a challenging season disrupted by the pandemic and still went a perfect 13-0. Alabama played an all-SEC schedule, facing only the top conference opponents every week and dominated each game with an average victory margin of nearly 30 points. Coach Nick Saban put together an explosive offense that averaged about 48.5 points per game behind quarterback Mac Jones, star wide receiver Devontae Smith, who won the Heisman Trophy, the award for the nation's best player, and running back Najee Harris. In the national championship game, Alabama overpowered Ohio State 52-24, capping an unbeaten season. This Crimson Tide squad is often hailed as one of Saban's best teams ever, showcasing a high-flying offense and relentless precision on both sides of the ball. At number 9, it's the 1956 Oklahoma Sooners, the Wilkinson Wonderkins. A blast from the past and a truly dominant crew. Coached by the legendary Bud Wilkinson, the Sooners went 10-0 and clinched the national title as part of an incredible 47-game winning streak. Still the longest winning streak in college football history. In 1956, Oklahoma outscored its opponents by huge margins. They averaged roughly 46 points a game while giving up only about 5 points on defense, absolutely crushing almost everyone they faced. Star players like Tommy McDonald and Jerry Tubbs led a high-powered offense that season. The Sooners were so dominant that many of their games were essentially over by halftime. This team's perfection and long-running win streak helped cement Oklahoma as a powerhouse of the 1950s, and it set a record for sustained dominance that still stands today. At number 8, we have the 2005 Texas Longhorns, Vince Young's Lone Star legacy. This was a team with a season for the ages. Texas finished 13-0 under coach Mac Brown, powered by a high-octane offense that nearly averaged 50 points per game. Their leader was quarterback Vince Young, a dynamic dual-threat star who delivered one of the most iconic performances in college football history. The Longhorns rolled through a tough schedule. They even went on the road to beat Ohio State and Columbus, setting up a national championship showdown against the mighty USC Trojans. In the 2006 Rose Bowl, the BCS championship game, Vince Young put on a show, racking up 467 yards of offense by himself. Texas defeated USC 41-38 in an instant classic that is often called one of the greatest college football games ever played. That win snapped USC's 34-game win streak and secured Texas's first national title in over 3 decades. 2005 Longhorns combined thrilling offense with clutch playmaking, and their championship run remains the stuff of legends. At number 7, the 2004 USC Trojans, Hollywood highlight reel. This was a team so stacked with talent it was like a Hollywood movie. The Trojans went 13-0 under coach Pete Carroll, dominating opponents with style and swagger. USC's offense was led by quarterback Matt Leinart, who won the Heisman Trophy in 2004 and featured electrifying players like Reggie Bush and Lendale White in the backfield. They averaged about 38 points per game and had a tough defense to boot. The Trojans entered the BCS championship as the top-ranked team and faced unbeaten Oklahoma, a much-hyped number 1 versus number 2 showdown. USC made a massive statement by blowing out the Sooners 55-19 to win the national title. That 36-point championship game victory remains one of the most dominant performances ever in a title game. With their array of future NFL players and decisive wins, the 2004 Trojans solidified a mini dynasty. It was USC's second consecutive national championship by the AP poll and left an indelible mark on college football's modern era. At number 6, we have the 1945 Army Cadets, World War II Warriors. Army's football team was a juggernaut during World War II, and 1945 was the peak of their dominance. The Cadets went 9-0, winning the national championship and absolutely steamrolling their competition. Coached by Colonel Earl Red Blake, Army averaged around 45 points per game and gave up just about 5 points per game on defense, shutting out 5 of their 9 opponents. In fact, in one stretch, the Cadets hadn't lost a game since 1943. Army was led by 2 legendary players, Doc Blanchard, Mr. Inside, and Glenn Davis, Mr. Outside, a pair of running backs so good they won back-to-back Heisman trophies, Blanchard in 1945 and Davis in 1946. One of Army's most notable victories in 1945 was a 48-0 rout of traditional power Notre Dame, showing just how overpowering the Cadets were. The 1945 Army team came at a unique time in history and is often remembered as one of college football's early super teams. They dominated in an era when many programs were depleted by war, and they remain a point of pride in Army's storied football legacy. At number 5, we have the 1972 USC Trojans, the Cardinal and Gold Standard. This was a team that set the standard for dominance in the early 1970s. USC went 12-0 under coach John McKay, winning the national championship with ease. This team was loaded with future stars, running back Anthony Davis, fullback Sam Bam Cunningham, quarterback Mike Ray, and wide receiver Lynn Swann, among others. The Trojans' average margin of victory was over 30 points per game. They scored a total of 467 points and allowed only 134 points all season. They showed up big in the biggest games too. USC routed rival Notre Dame 45-23, and they capped the season by dismantling Ohio State 42-17 in the Rose Bowl to secure the title. The combination of a powerful running game, a suffocating defense, and clutch coaching made the 72 Trojans a truly complete team. Many historians rank this USC squad among the top teams of the 20th century. Even today, Trojan fans proudly recall the 1972 team as the pinnacle of USC football dominance, the Cardinal and Gold standard of greatness. And at number 4, it's the 2019 LSU Tigers, Bayou Blitzkrieg. These LSU Tigers were a team that unleashed a blitzkrieg of offense on the college football world. LSU finished 15-0, becoming one of the few teams ever to go 15-0 and win a national title, and the first to do it in the college football playoff era. Under coach Ed Oregonian, LSU set numerous records and is often mentioned in conversations about the greatest offenses in college football history. Quarterback Joe Burrow had a season for the ages. He threw 60 touchdown passes, won the Heisman Trophy, and led an offense that averaged about 48 points per game. The Tigers didn't shy away from competition either. They defeated an incredible 7 teams ranked in the AP Top 10 during their season, including powerhouses like Alabama, Georgia, Oklahoma, and Clemson. In the national title game, LSU beat defending champion Clemson 42-25 after dropping 63 points on Oklahoma in the semifinal. Future NFL stars littered the LSU roster, from Burrow to wide receivers Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, and running backs Clyde Edwards-Helaire. The 2019 LSU Tigers not only went unbeaten, they did so against one of the toughest schedules ever, making their dominant run one for the history books. It was a Bayou Bengal blitz like we've never seen before. And at number 3, we got the 1971 Nebraska Cornhuskers, Game of the Century champions. This Cornhuskers team proved themselves in arguably the biggest games of the century. Nebraska went 13-0 under coach Bob Devaney, claiming back-to-back national titles in 1970 and 1971, with the 71 team being the crown jewel. This squad is famous for participating in the Game of the Century, a legendary showdown between number 1 Nebraska and number 2 Oklahoma on Thanksgiving Day. Nebraska won that thriller 35-31 thanks in part to an unforgettable punt return touchdown by wingback Johnny Rodgers, who went on to win the Heisman the next year. But the Cornhuskers didn't stop there. In the Orange Bowl for the national championship, they dominated previously unbeaten Alabama 38-6. Overall, Nebraska's 1971 team outscored opponents by roughly 39 points per game across the season, blending a potent offense with a crushing defense. Stars of the team included Johnny Rodgers, quarterback Johnny Taggy, and Outland Trophy winner Rich Glover on the defensive line. Decades later, this Huskers team still tops many all-time lists. An ESPN panel in 2019 even voted them the greatest team of the last 150 years of college football. The 1971 Cornhuskers set a benchmark for big game brilliance and all-around dominance that few teams in history can match. And at number 2, it's the 2001 Miami Hurricanes, NFL factory on the field. This was a team so talented and dominant, it's almost unbelievable. The Hurricanes went 12-0 under coach Larry Coker, storming through their schedule to claim the national title. How dominant were they, you might wonder? Miami outscored opponents by an average of 33 points per game, scoring around 43.8 points on offense and allowing 9.8 points on defense. Pure domination. In the BCS title game, Miami crushed Nebraska 37-14 and at one point led 34-0 by halftime, leaving no doubt who was number one. But what truly sets the 2001 Hurricanes apart is an insane roster of future NFL stars. It was basically an NFL All-Star team in college uniforms. We're talking about players like quarterback Ken Dorsey, running back Clinton Portis, plus Willis McGahee and Frank Gore waiting in the wings, wide receiver Andre Johnson, tight end Jeremy Shockey, offensive tackle Bryant McKinney, and a defense featuring legends like Ed Reed, Sean Taylor as a young player, Jonathan Vilma, and Vince Wilfork. In total, 38 players from this squad were drafted into the NFL, including a staggering 17 first-round draft picks in the following years, a level of talent depth that college football hasn't seen before or since. Many analysts call 2001 Miami the most talented college team ever. They had swagger, speed, and suffocating defense, and they flat out obliterated every team in their path. If not for one team ahead of them on this list, the 01 Hurricanes could easily stake a claim as the best ever. And at number 1, we have the 1995 Nebraska Cornhuskers, unstoppable big red machine. This team is often cited as the most dominant college football team of all time, and for good reason. The 95 Huskers, coached by Tom Osborne, went 12-0 and won their second straight national championship by pulverizing everything in sight. How dominant were they? Nebraska averaged 49.8 points per game on offense while giving up just 14.5 points per game on defense, winning by an average margin of about 35 points. In the Fiesta Bowl for the national title, Nebraska faced number 2 Florida, a talented Gators team, and absolutely ran them off the field with a 62-24 victory. At one point, Nebraska scored 36 unanswered points in the second half, a showcase of dominance rarely seen in championship games. Quarterback Tommie Frazier was the star of the show. His electrifying 75-yard touchdown run in that Fiesta Bowl, where he broke multiple tackles, is an iconic highlight in college football history. The Huskers roster was stacked with talent like running backs Amon Green and Lawrence Phillips, an outstanding offensive line, and a physical black shirt defense headlined by Grant Windstrom and Jason Peter. Nebraska beat 4 teams ranked in the top 10 that season, proving their greatness against quality competition. This Cornhusker squad didn't just beat teams, they demoralized them. Many experts and historians put 1995 Nebraska at the very top of their all-time rankings, and after seeing how thoroughly they dominated a tough schedule, it's easy to see why. The Big Red Machine of 95 remains the gold standard for unbeatable college football teams. Those are our picks for the top 10 most dominant college football national champions ever. These teams not only won it all, they did so in spectacular fashion, leaving opponents and fans awestruck. If you're new to college football, we hope this gives you a taste of sports' rich history and the high bar these legendary teams set. And if you're a longtime fan, maybe this brings back some great memories and debates. Did your favorite team make the list? Let us know what you think, and thanks for joining us on this fun trip through college football lore.